We're inside the center of Isis, the face of Cleopatra in a coin.
Cleopatra, the final pharaoh of ancient Egypt, remains a mystery. Surrounded by tales of intrigue and mystique, many narratives have celebrated her life. Yet there exists a treasure trove of lesser-known details that further enrich our understanding of this captivating queen. Beyond mainstream tales, these overlooked facets weave a nuanced portrayal of Cleopatra. To this day, archaeologists ardently seek her elusive tomb, hoping to uncover even deeper insights into Egypt's last sovereign queen. Number 1. The incestuous marriages. The Ptolemaic dynasty in Egypt is infamous for its tradition of intermarrying within the royal family, often done to safeguard the pure royal lineage and consolidate power. Cleopatra VII exemplified this practice, wedding two of her younger brothers, Ptolemy XIII and Ptolemy XIV. Interestingly, both these brothers met tragic ends, believed to be at Cleopatra's behest. Cleopatra's marriage to Ptolemy XIII, when he was a mere 10 and she was 18, was marked by strife. Their escalating tensions culminated in a civil war. With the support of the Roman leader Julius Caesar, Cleopatra emerged victorious, leading to her brother's tragic end in the Nile. Later, she tied the knot with Ptolemy XIV, who also met an untimely demise, suspected to be a poisoning orchestrated by Cleopatra. However, Cleopatra's most prominent romantic chapters were with two influential Romans, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. These relationships weren't just affairs of the heart, they bore children and had significant political ramifications. With their support, Cleopatra fortified her reign, ensuring her place in history as the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Number 2. Cleopatra's true ancestry, often perceived as an emblematic Egyptian queen, Cleopatra VII's heritage is more intricate than the simplistic narrative suggests. Ascending as the last monarch of the Ptolemaic dynasty, Cleopatra wasn't purely of Egyptian descent. In reality, her genealogy weaved through the annals of Greek and Macedonian histories. She was a direct descendant of Ptolemy Mesauder, an influential general in Alexander the Great's army, who subsequently laid the foundation of the Ptolemaic dynasty in Egypt. Furthermore, her familial roots branched out into Persian and Syrian territories, particularly through connections on her mother's side. This amalgamation of cultures and ancestries lent Cleopatra a unique and diverse background, setting her apart from contemporary rulers and enriching the legacy she would leave behind. Her multifaceted lineage underscores the blend of cultures and influences that marked her reign and persona. Number 3. The myth and reality of Cleopatra's appearance. The enduring legend of Cleopatra frequently paints her as an epitome of breathtaking beauty, an image deeply ingrained in our cultural consciousness. Nevertheless, concrete historical relics, including coins and sculptures from her era, present a more nuanced portrayal. These artifacts emphasize her distinguished features: a pronounced nose, a firm chin, and intense, deep-set eyes. While these attributes might not align seamlessly with modern beauty standards, it's crucial to remember they were considered attractive and regal in her time. Furthermore, beauty standards are ephemeral, constantly evolving, and varying across cultures and epochs. More than her physical attributes, Cleopatra's undeniable magnetism probably emanated from her sharp intellect, magnetic charisma, and deft political acumen. Her influential reign and diplomatic prowess underscore that her legacy was not solely hinged on aesthetics, but on a combination of her leadership skills and captivating persona. Number 4. Languages, skills. Cleopatra wasn't just a cunning political figure, she was a polyglot. Unlike her Ptolemaic predecessors, who primarily communicated in Greek and exhibited little appreciation for the native Egyptian tongue, Cleopatra was a linguistic marvel. She reputedly mastered 9 languages, including Greek, Egyptian, Ethiopian, Troglodyte, Hebrew, Arabic, Syriac, Median, and Parthian. This linguistic expertise distinguished her, affording her a unique connection with her subjects and building trust and loyalty. Beyond domestic relations, her multilingualism was invaluable in diplomacy, enabling direct dialogues with foreign representatives without intermediary translators. Thus, Cleopatra's reign, significantly influenced by family politics and her unique abilities, dramatically shaped the trajectory of Egyptian history. Number 5. The royal sibling rivalry. The Ptolemaic dynasty, to which Cleopatra belonged, was marked by intricate family webs filled with rivalry and power dynamics. In this environment where political alliances were highly important, incestuous marriages became the norm, and siblings were frequently in contention for control and influence. Cleopatra, a product of this intricate lineage, stood out amidst these family politics. Following the death of her father, Ptolemy the Wealth Auletes, she and her younger brother Ptolemy XIII were designated co-monarchs of Egypt. However, Cleopatra's vision of sole rulership, combined with her evident intelligence and ambition, caused friction between the two. Ptolemy XIII, guided by his counselors, began to challenge her leadership. This culminated in 48 BCE when Cleopatra found herself fleeing Egypt as her brother and his supporters sought dominion over the throne. In a twist of fate, her sibling rivalry intersected with broader geopolitics. Julius Caesar, having arrived in Egypt in pursuit of Pompey, allied with Cleopatra, ultimately aiding her to reclaim her co-rulership status. But this sibling contention had its casualty. Ptolemy XIII tragically drowned in the Nile during a significant battle. Cleopatra's entanglements with her family didn't end there. After her brother's demise, she was wed to another brother, Ptolemy XIV, respecting Ptolemaic tradition. But this was a marriage of convenience. Her genuine commitment was to Julius Caesar, and they birthed a son, Caesarion. Following Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE, Cleopatra, in a bold political move, eliminated Ptolemy XIV, presumably through poisoning, positioning Caesarion as co-monarch. Arsinoe, Cleopatra's sister, also became a formidable challenger. Initially an ally against Ptolemy XIII, she later sought the throne herself. Captured by Caesar, she was paraded in Roman chains, later finding exile in Ephesus's Temple of Artemis. Navigating these tumultuous relations, Cleopatra's brilliant political strategies, intellect, and strategic affiliations fortified her stature as ancient Egypt's last pharaoh. Her tenacity in the face of family rivalries, especially in a patriarchal domain, solidified her legacy as a distinguished historical figure. Number 6. Genius political strategy. Cleopatra's astute political strategies set her apart in ancient Egyptian politics. Her knack for aligning with influential figures was pivotal, as demonstrated in her relationships with Roman leaders like Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Initiating her alliance with Caesar, Cleopatra ingeniously presented herself concealed within a rug. Their ensuing romantic liaison bore not just personal significance, but had profound political implications. With Caesar's military backing, Cleopatra thwarted her brother, Ptolemy XIII, fortifying her reign in Egypt. Post-Caesar's demise, Cleopatra's political sagacity led her to Mark Antony. Their partnership was more than just romance. It was strategic. Cleopatra fortified Antony with resources, and in return, Antony aided her in quashing the remaining opposition. This bond resulted in 3 children and the infamous donations of Alexandria, where Antony acknowledged Cleopatra's offspring as his own, gifting them vast territories. However, their burgeoning influence alarmed Rome, particularly Octavian, later Augustus Caesar, leading to a conflict that culminated in the Battle of Actium. The Roman victory prefaced Antony and Cleopatra's tragic ends. Cleopatra's brilliance in diplomacy, her deep understanding of both Egyptian and Roman political terrains, and her ability to cultivate powerful alliances underscores her position as a formidable ruler in ancient history. Number 7. Cleopatra's affiliation with the cult of Isis. Cleopatra's reign, marked by shrewd political and religious maneuvering, saw her expertly harness the power of the revered cult of Isis. This ancient Egyptian deity, Isis, symbolizing fertility, motherhood, and magic, held a central place in the hearts of the Egyptian populace. Cleopatra's association with Isis was no mere coincidence. She consciously molded her image to mirror the goddess, enhancing her divine aura and making her rule more relatable to her diverse kingdom. Cleopatra often adopted the visual symbolism of Isis, even presenting herself as the deity during significant rituals. Such strategic religious associations reinforced her leadership, providing it with a sacred foundation. In doing so, Cleopatra didn't merely ensure unwavering loyalty from her subjects. She also cultivated a perception of herself as a compassionate, maternal figure, echoing the benevolence of Isis herself. Number 8. Cleopatra's unique beauty features. Cleopatra's beauty regimen, a reflection of her distinctive character, was both opulent and ahead of its time. To maintain her radiant appearance, she employed methods that today might be considered lavish and groundbreaking. Among her most famous treatments was bathing in donkey milk, thought to possess skin-smoothing and age-defying benefits. The story goes that around 700 donkeys were needed to cater to her daily milk baths. Furthermore, Cleopatra embraced natural ingredients for her cosmetics. She fashioned a vibrant red lip color from a blend of crushed ants, carmine, and beeswax. Her facial mask, concocted from burnt almonds, honey, and fresh donkey milk, was believed to invigorate and illuminate her skin. These pioneering beauty routines, reminiscent of her savvy political maneuvers, underscored Cleopatra's ingenuity and longing to be distinct from her peers. Her storied beauty rituals, still captivating today, underline her lasting allure and impact on history. Number 9. The legendary arrival of Cleopatra in gold Tarsus. The tales of Cleopatra's grandeur and her flair for dramatic presentations of wealth have been passed down through history, with the narrative of the golden ship standing out prominently. When summoned by Mark Antony to Tarsus, Cleopatra recognized the opportunity to not just respond, but to make an entrance that would be etched in the annals of history. Rather than a conventional vessel, she chose a ship gleaming with golden exteriors, with sails of shimmering silver and the richest shade of purple. The rhythmic strokes of the silver oars were perfectly matched to enchanting music that heralded her grand entrance. Upon reaching Tarsus, Cleopatra didn't halt her display of extravagance. She orchestrated an opulent banquet that was nothing short of a visual and gastronomic delight. The spread included rare and exotic dishes, aged wines, and performances that were a feast for the senses. Every detail, every choice, was a testament to her immense wealth, her impeccable taste, and her boundless power. However, Cleopatra's objective extended beyond showcasing affluence. Her dramatic arrival and the subsequent banquet were calculated moves to underscore her independent reign and paramountcy as Egypt's queen. It was a powerful statement, not just to Mark Antony, but to the world, emphasizing her unyielding autonomy. Her strategy was spectacularly successful. Mark Antony, one of Rome's most powerful leaders, was thoroughly enchanted by Cleopatra's charisma and the magnificence she represented. This meeting wasn't just an epic rendezvous, but marked the inception of one of history's most famed and consequential partnerships. Number 10. Tax system. The Ptolemaic tax structure was instrumental in bolstering Cleopatra's prosperous Egypt. Methodically designed, it guaranteed a consistent revenue stream to back the crown and propel state projects. Central revenue streams encompassed levies on farming, commerce, and the extraction of valuable minerals like gold and gemstones. Cleopatra showcased her prowess in fiscal management by harnessing Egypt's bountiful assets and directing the funds towards her strategic objectives. Recognizing the interplay between a robust economy and her leadership grip, she channeled resources into infrastructure, cultivated the arts, and championed religious entities. This contributed to an era of growth and stability under her watch. Her adeptness in overseeing the Ptolemaic tax framework is indicative of her sagacious approach and profound comprehension of her kingdom's economic dynamics. This economic insight, fused with her astute political and diplomatic endeavors, solidified her stature as a powerhouse monarch of her era. Number 11. Cleopatra's illegitimate children. Cleopatra's relationships with her brothers were largely forged for political maneuvering, yet her liaisons with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony bore her several children, born outside of wedlock, who became paramount in the larger scheme of her political machinations. From her romantic entanglement with Julius Caesar emerged Cleopatra's first child, Caesarion, formerly known as Ptolemy XV Philopator Philometor Caesar. He was acknowledged as Caesar's progeny and the legitimate heir to the Egyptian throne. Following the abrupt demise of Caesar, Cleopatra proclaimed Caesarion her co-sovereign, meticulously crafting a path for his ascension. Mark Antony, another Roman lover, fathered 3 of Cleopatra's children: Alexander Helios, Cleopatra Selene II, and Ptolemy Philadelphus. As significant chess pieces in the geopolitical rivalry between Cleopatra and the might of Rome, their roles were crucial. In the aftermath of Cleopatra and Antony's defeat, Octavian, the future Augustus, ordered the young Caesarian's execution, eliminating a potential claimant. Conversely, Cleopatra's offspring with Antony were spared. They were transported to Rome and entrusted to Octavia Minor, Octavian's sibling and Antony's estranged spouse, providing an ironic twist in their destinies. The trajectories of Cleopatra's children highlight her strategic ingenuity, as she adeptly leveraged them to bolster allegiances and fortify her stature as Egypt's concluding pharaoh. Yet their destinies also underscore the tragic ebb of Cleopatra's influence and the termination of the Ptolemaic era. Number 12. The Perseus Connection. The lineage of Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt, traces back to the Greek-Macedonian Ptolemaic dynasty, which boasts a fascinating link to the mythological hero, Perseus. Renowned in Greek tales, Perseus, born of Zeus and Danae, gained fame for remarkable endeavors, most notably defeating the fearsome Medusa. The establishment of the Ptolemaic dynasty is credited to Ptolemy I Soter, once a formidable general under the banner of Alexander the Great. Ptolemy I and his successors professed descent from the heroic Perseus via his offspring, Perses. This ancestral tie was not mere coincidence but a calculated claim, aiming to reinforce their divine authority and validate their reign. Being a Ptolemaic descendant, Cleopatra was naturally encompassed in this narrative. By emphasizing her affiliation to Perseus, she fortified her divine stature and solidified her paramount position as Egypt's sovereign. Cleopatra's strategic invocation of this heroic lineage underlines her adeptness at leveraging mythology and lore to bolster her reign. Though the Perseus connection might not be the most celebrated chapter in Cleopatra's tale, it highlights her shrewd use of legend to augment her dominion and legacy. Number 13. Cleopatra's mysterious death. Cleopatra, the last queen of ancient Egypt, has left behind a tapestry of tales, and among them, the mystery of her demise remains one of the most debated. Traditional narratives, often steeped in drama, suggest that she took her own life through the venomous bite of an asp, a symbol of divine royalty in Egypt. However, as researchers delve deeper into the annals of history, skepticism arises. Some historians posit that Cleopatra's death was more complex, speculating potential political assassination or other covert means. The ambiguity surrounding her end is intensified by a lack of concrete evidence and the influence of Roman propaganda, which may have aimed to overshadow her legacy. Despite the uncertainties of her final moments, one truth remains steadfast. Cleopatra's legacy as a powerful, strategic, and influential ruler stands unwavering in the corridors of history. Number 14. The Lost Tomb of Cleopatra. The location of Cleopatra's tomb, the last pharaoh of Egypt, remains one of the ancient world's most perplexing mysteries. Although her influence in history is undeniable, the whereabouts of her final resting place remains concealed. Generations of archaeologists, historians, and Egyptology enthusiasts have been mesmerized by the quest to find her tomb, but its precise location continues to elude discovery. Historical records, including the accounts of the ancient Roman historian Plutarch, note that Cleopatra was laid to rest alongside Mark Antony in an opulent golden tomb following their tragic suicides in 30 BCE. This magnificent tomb, as described by Plutarch, resided within a temple devoted to the Egyptian deity, Osiris, adorned with innumerable treasures. Yet, frustratingly, concrete evidence pointing to the tomb's existence remains absent. Numerous speculations over the years have proposed potential sites for the tomb. One prevalent belief places the tomb near Cleopatra's palace in Alexandria, the Ptolemaic Egypt's heart. Supporting this claim are the sunken ruins off the modern Alexandria coast, thought to be vestiges of Cleopatra's once grand palace. Yet these underwater expeditions have yet to yield signs of her burial site. A different proposition centers on Taposiris Magna, an age-old temple complex approximately 45 kilometers west of Alexandria. Driven by this hypothesis, archaeologist Kathleen Martinez has spent years excavating the site, postulating that Cleopatra and Mark Antony might be interred there, aligning themselves symbolically with deities Osiris and Isis. While the diggings have revealed captivating finds like statues, pottery, and a potential Cleopatra bust, the elusive tomb still remains undiscovered. Adding another layer to the mystery is the possibility that the Romans might have intentionally obliterated or hidden Cleopatra's tomb. After vanquishing Cleopatra and Mark Antony, Octavian was keen on reinforcing his dominance and ascending as Egypt's uncontested ruler. To diminish Cleopatra's lingering legacy and her sway over the Egyptians, he might have directed the tomb's desecration or concealment. Cleopatra's tomb, beyond its archaeological value, symbolizes the world's enduring infatuation with this beguiling queen. As the years progress, the tomb becomes not just a quest for a physical site, but also a journey into understanding an iconic figure's life and legacy. While numerous clues tantalize researchers and many theories kindle hope, Cleopatra's burial site remains one of antiquity's unsolved riddles. Each exploration, every new excavation reaffirms Cleopatra's indelible mark on the annals of history and our collective psyche. The pursuit of her tomb is, in many ways, a homage to the queen's undying allure and significance. Number 15. The cultural footprint of Cleopatra VII, the final sovereign of ancient Egypt, has bequeathed an indelible mark on global culture, echoing across epochs and geographies. The tales of her reign, relationships, and political astuteness have birthed an abundant treasury of art, theater, and cinema, solidifying her as an epitome of charisma, allure, and political prowess. The literary universe, in particular, is awash with Cleopatra's narratives. Most prominently, William Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, 1607, crafts an intricate tapestry of her existence, brimming with passion, nuance, and an inevitable descent into tragedy. This Shakespearean lens has laid the groundwork for myriad subsequent representations of Cleopatra across various mediums. Other literary masterpieces include George Bernard Shaw's theatrical exploration in Caesar and Cleopatra, 1898, which delves into her dynamic with Julius Caesar, and Théophile Gautier's One of Cleopatra's Nights, 1838, a narrative anthology reflecting episodes of her existence. In visual arts, Cleopatra's saga has been a muse to artists spanning millennia. From time-honored Roman murals to the opulent Baroque canvases of maestros like Artemisia Gentileschi and Guido Reni, the artistic renderings underscore Cleopatra's magnetic allure and formidable presence. The silver screen, too, hasn't remained untouched by Cleopatra's magnetism. While the silent cinematic piece of 1917, starring Theda Bara, was a pioneering portrayal, it is Elizabeth Taylor's embodiment in the grand 1963 spectacle, Cleopatra, that stands as the quintessential depiction, replete with awe-inspiring settings and couture that added layers to Cleopatra's legend as a beacon of luxury and elegance. Furthermore, Cleopatra's style choices and beauty regimens have blazed a trail in the world of beauty and fashion. Emulating her iconic kohl-framed gaze and audacious color palette, Cleopatra has been idolized as a benchmark of exotic sophistication. Tales of her indulgent beauty rituals, such as the famed donkey milk baths, now find parallels in contemporary skincare innovations and plush wellness therapies. Yet beyond the realms of art, literature, and beauty, Cleopatra's narrative holds profound weight in socio-political arenas, especially feminist dialogues. Positioned as a formidable female monarch in an era dominated by patriarchal paradigms, Cleopatra's trajectory offers solace and motivation for women seeking to defy traditional gender roles. Her brilliant strategies, leadership acumen, and unwavering determination are emblematic of potent female agency, setting her apart as an archetype of women's empowerment. In totality, Cleopatra's expansive cultural signature spans a diverse spectrum, from arts and literature to fashion and socio-political thought. Her tale, woven with threads of intrigue and ambition, has enamored global consciousness for myriad ages. As the curtain fell on ancient Egypt's last pharaoh, it heralded the rise of a cultural icon, an influence poised to resonate through countless future epochs.